This week on Inside Boulder News.
Boulder joins other Colorado communities in a fight against climate change costs. They're a staple to Boulder's Pearl Street Mall. We'll tell you how city staff keep these flowers blooming each and every year. And get involved. Find out what volunteer opportunities the city has to offer. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. The city of Boulder joined the Boulder and San Miguel counties this week on a joint lawsuit against two oil companies to recover climate change costs. These Colorado communities have demanded that the companies pay their fair share of the costs associated with climate change impacts. In the past, there have been similar climate lawsuits made in coastal areas like California and New York City. This lawsuit, however, is the first made by a city in a landlocked state. On April 17th, the city of Boulder, along with Boulder and San Miguel counties, made an important announcement during a climate rally in front of the Boulder County Courthouse.
Today, we're partnering together to bring a lawsuit against two fossil fuel companies, Suncor and Exxon.
Suncor and ExxonMobil are two of the world's largest contributors to climate change and have been particularly active in Colorado. Suncor's U.S. operations are based in Denver, and it supplies about 35% of the state's gasoline and diesel fuel demand, while Exxon is the largest investor-owned fossil fuel producer in history.
The two companies that are named in this lawsuit have caused us harm by knowingly producing damaging products, fossil fuels, that have contributed substantially to climate change.
The idea there is to not restrict their business practices, but to recognize that they should, in fact, step up and pay their fair share to the costs that we are bearing at the local level.
Over the next 3 decades, these three Colorado communities will face at least $100 million in costs related to the impacts of climate change caused by the use of fossil fuel products.
Now is really the right time, as we have recognized that many of these fossil fuel companies have known about the dangers of their actions for over 50 years. And so as we start to really think about those costs and how we embed those costs into our budgets, it was really critical for us to understand this issue of accountability.
It is unknown how long the case will take. City staff anticipates it will take a few years for the process to play itself out. The law firm taking the case, Earthrights International, is doing the work pro bono.
We are taking on some of the world's largest and most politically powerful corporations. But we have so much at stake, and we are confident that the courts will agree with us. It's time for climate accountability.
Yeah.
For more information on the lawsuit, please visit the website seen on your screen. This week, Boulder celebrated National Volunteer Appreciation Week with the over 6,000 volunteers there are in the city. We spoke to Amy Kane, the city's volunteer and program manager, to talk about the countless of volunteer opportunities the city has to offer. Boulder City Council declared the week of April 16th through the 20th as National Volunteer Appreciation Week.
We had over 6,000 volunteers last year, donating 88,000 hours, which translates to about $2 million.
As just a small token of Boulder's thanks to its volunteers, the city offered a variety of community tours for each city volunteer and a guest.
One of the things we've learned with the volunteers and in speaking with them is they appreciate the lunches, they appreciate the dinners, but what they really love is getting to learn and get to be with city staff. That's a big reward for them.
For the city, volunteerism is one of the perfect opportunities for community engagement.
It gives us an opportunity to have the community participate through boards, commissions, advisory groups, working alongside us too in delivering programs, in operations, and so we're able to work with them to understand what their needs are, but at the same time, then they're understanding how the city works and how they can contribute to help make an impact.
The largest volunteer programs are in open space and mountain parks, parks and recreation, and the library. The city's volunteer cooperative, however, is expanding how the city is working with volunteers across different organizations.
We've created a volunteer cooperative strategic plan that we also released last week. It really outlines how we can start working with skilled volunteers. So for example, I had a community member who was looking to get involved with the community, and she had really great graphic design skills, and I was in need of somebody to help me do the graphic design for our strategic plan, and she helped us out on it.
Whether it's participating in Community Cleanup Day or helping out on a big city project, no task is too big or too small to roll up your sleeves and get involved to make a difference in your community.
We love our volunteers, we love our community members. It's a great way for city staff to get to know the community that they're serving in a different way.
For a full list of the city's volunteer opportunities, please visit the website seen on your screen. The city's Nature Challenge is back for its third year. In partnership with Boulder County and the Wild Foundation, the city invites you to take the challenge and show Boulder's biodiversity to the world. The City Nature Challenge is a competition between 65 different cities where residents are encouraged to gather pictures of plants, animals, and fungi over a 4-day period using the free app iNaturalist, available on iPhone and Androids.
The competition is essentially who can get the most wildlife and plant data during that time period.
The City Nature Challenge comes from an action item in the city's resilience strategy to put science in the hands of citizens.
Residents are really our most powerful partner when it comes to observing our natural surroundings. They're out and on the ground, and they can help us do that in a really meaningful way.
To participate in the challenge, all you have to do is download the iNaturalist app to your phone and snap pictures of anything related to nature and upload it to the app. You can also visit iNaturalist on your desktop and check out what others are posting.
It's allowed us to track some rarities that we've been seeing in Boulder County, and it also just allows you then to look at how wildlife might be moving throughout the city.
There will be a total of 2 grand prizes, one for the individual who sees the greatest number of different species, and one for whoever has the largest number of uploads.
It's a really meaningful way for residents to help us understand the open spaces and as well as kind of the urban ecosystem. So this really helps us kind of create this map of what's going on in the city when it comes to plants and wildlife.
You can take the challenge starting April 27th through the 30th. A free kickoff event will get things started on April 27th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Foothills Community Park. Guided hikes, iNaturalist demos, food trucks, and more will be available. Please visit citynaturechallenge.org for more information. There's no better indication of spring in Boulder than the beautiful tulips that bloom each year in Boulder's Pearl Street Mall. The mall is known for its spectacular tulip displays, attracting tourists and locals alike. But these popular flower beds require much maintenance, so we spoke to the team who keep the magic of the tulips alive. There's lots of sounds, smells, and sights to experience down at Pearl Street Mall, but nothing beats the tulips that have bloomed each and every year here for the last 3 decades.
The flower beds have been around for 30 years, and the Parks and Rec Department has been maintaining the area since it was established.
Every spring and summer, staff plant thousands of flowers, including 6,000 annuals for a varied mix throughout the seasons. More than 15,000 tulip bulbs were planted this year, which were imported from across the seas.
We get the tulip bulbs from Holland through a company, Swart & Company. Our representative, he personally brings them over on a cargo ship in the fall, rents a box truck, and delivers them throughout the United States.
But the tulips' long journey to Pearl Street Mall doesn't stop just there. Parks and Rec staff work countless hours maintaining these beautiful flowers alive.
We go through each bed and we will hand aerate the beds, which allows to break up the winter snow compaction. Hand aerating in between the bulbs allows oxygen and nutrients and water penetration.
Not only do residents enjoy the blooms along Pearl Street, but area gardeners can also enhance their gardens because of these plantings.
We have a program with the city, the Tulip Bulb Giveaway, which happens in August, and it is on a first come, first served basis, and all the citizens and whoever wants to come get the bulbs from the previous year are able to get the bulbs.
And the reason why Pearl Street Mall continues to bloom with tulips each and every year is simple.
They generally bring a smile to everybody's face and keeps everybody happy.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. Have a good week.